What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Real Estate Agent Rehab. My name is Amir.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Vance Mizzy.
And we have a good topic today, and something that I think everybody can benefit from, something that everybody uses and everybody probably needs to use more, which can help get you a lot of free marketing. And that's social media and the power of social media and how much it can really help benefit you, your sphere of influence, your clients, and creating some sort of following. So we're going to touch on a lot of good topics that are maybe give you some tips and tricks to help you grow in that area of your marketing business.
And I think we should also give some warnings as to overusing and just using it in the wrong manner.
Absolutely, because you can definitely use social media in the wrong manner. Sometimes you end up putting too much of your personal life on there, and maybe it's not something that is very marketable, especially for common people or for families that may look at it or look down upon certain behavior that you might be doing. So that's definitely something that we'll touch on later as well. But I think we'll just start by talking about different platforms. I think over the years, there's been different platforms that have become more prominent, especially now. And the way I think people just look on social media is different than it was, within the 5 years. I would say even within the last 2 to 3 years, it's different, right?
Yeah. There's still certainly the big three.
Yeah.
But you've got all these other kind of bouncing around. What are the big three? I would say Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter/X.
Yeah, I mean, we also have LinkedIn in there,
right?
Too.
Now you have LinkedIn, Reels,
and then Reels as a part of Instagram, and then now TikTok, right? Now TikTok is a big one too, and then with YouTube and YouTube channels becoming more prominent for people, YouTube Shorts. So there's just a lot out there, and it's like, as a realtor, as a business professional in general, where do you go? Where do you start? And I always tell people, kind of just start with what you know. If you're a little bit older, maybe you started on Facebook, right? And Facebook owns Instagram, and they're really big now on doing video and doing Reels. Yeah. So you can use that platform to start to get things going. It's always good to start with, obviously, you have your personal page that's set up, and setting up things to where on your personal page you've got professional photography of yourself, make it look classy, make sure you have your brokerage name, make sure you have your DRE number or your license number on there, make sure you have just things set up in a manner. So if somebody did look at your personal page, which people do, this is your new resume. So think of Facebook or any of your social media channels as your resume for the world. So make sure that it's set up in a way that looks professional, that looks right, and you don't have too many provocative photos out there. You don't have any photos of you like maybe partying or doing things that aren't necessarily becoming of the general public. And make sure it's just cleaned up. You're a public figure now in your own right.
So there's a couple of things that you want to look at, very specific when you're setting up your pages. Number one is synergy. You want them to look and feel kind of, if somebody switches from one page to the other, from an Instagram to a Facebook or whatnot, they want to feel like it's still the same person, okay? And the number one way to do that is you write a single bio, okay? It's a long form bio, 2 or 3 paragraphs. And from that, you extract pieces and put it into each social media channel, so that when they're looking at it, they're reading a bio and they're seeing how everything kind of flows together. With that, you want to add, of course, what Amir said. You need your DRE number, you need your brokerage. The fact that you are a realtor is a number one position you need to take within your career right now. You are a professional realtor. You're licensed, which means anything that we say on social media is now under the license of a real estate agent, of a realtor, which means we can actually be taken up on charges against different things that we say through the boards of real estate. Okay. And this is something not to get concerned over or anything like that, but to be aware of and to at least understand, hey, you know what? I'm not speaking into a vacuum. There are people on the other end, and they're listening and they're hearing. That brings me to my second point, which is the channel. We talk about this all the time, where every TV station you watch has a specific feel to it. Okay, a different channel has different programming, and when you're setting up your social media, you want to start thinking about what does your programming look like, right? And we're going to get into what we're posting, and that's really where it's going to come from. But you want to think about that, like what kind of subjects and what kind of subject matter are you going to approach what in your programming? How are you going to post it, and then what side are you going to take?
Yeah, and so when it comes to posting and what you're going to create, you got to create content that's going to attract a certain type of audience. First, you have to think about who is your audience. So your audience is going to be, as a realtor, buyers and sellers, right? And then maybe you have your own sphere, your friends and family and things like that. So if you do want to keep a separate personal and business page, maybe you should do that, because maybe you want to separate certain things like your kids or different things you got going on with your family, and which is totally respectable. So make sure you separate it if you want to. But for whatever reason, a lot of people, even all the big players and people who have the most followers out there and the strongest channels, do integrate their business and their personal
Most definitely
on one channel. And so you think about what your audience is going to be. So it's predominantly going to be buyers and sellers, or people that are interested in real estate. So what are those people going to want to see, right? They're going to want to see information related to the business. They're going to want to see areas of your success in a manner that, they're not necessarily like you're flaunting it, but you're talking about how you overcame certain things. They want to hear stories about, what it's like in the current market and how to achieve maybe getting into your first home. Tutorials on what to do about maybe getting pre-qualified, or dealing with the loan process, maybe the inspection process, different processes within the specific transaction that people may not know about. And you could be that plethora of information with consistency in your media and your content that somebody could be following and watching, and you might not even know. And maybe within 6 months, a year, 2 years, they've been saving up, and you've been talking to the masses, and all of a sudden they hit you up with a DM and say, "Hey, I've been watching your content. It's really been beneficial to me. I've saved up, 20% down. I'm ready to start looking for a home," and boom, you have a lead. And that's what people don't realize. And I think what happens is a lot of people might throw out a little bit of content here and there. And then what happens is, they don't get all of the feedback that they think they're supposed to get, or the return on that, and then they just give up. Right.
But now think about what you just said. Giving all this information, how do you do it? Do you want to do it in a comedic way? What is your channel going to look like? Is it going to be static memes with just postings? Is it going to be all video? Is it going to be you in a suit and tie, or dressed extremely professional, or totally casual? Like, what does your channel look like? You have to think about this, so that when you're doing your videos, they all look and feel the same, where people are seeing the same content over and over, and then now they're feeling who you are. If you're just showing up like every day in a different kind of, today I want to do a comedy video, and I'm going to do a skit, and then I'm going to do a real, a professional video, people may not gravitate towards that. You want to create an audience for it. So again, it's that thinking about what I'm going to do long before I do it. And it may look like a lot of agents just pick up their phone and shoot that video, but they shoot the video with a full idea in mind. Amir, you don't ever go on video without knowing how you want your message to come across, correct?
Absolutely. And, there's time, there's this preparation that goes into it. And the more you take to understand your audience, understand your message, understand how you're going to look, what you're going to say, and, be okay with yourself once you get on camera or you're posting or whatever it is, and have that confidence that oozes out, and your audience appreciates it. And you'll be able to create good content, and with time it gets easier. And I think that's the biggest thing for people too, besides being inconsistent with it, is just the fear level of being able to do this. Like, right? Like, oh my God.
I don't like how I look on video.
I mean, I hear that from agents all the time. I don't want to do a headshot because I don't like the way I look in my headshot, or whatever the case may be.
I don't like how I sound. Whew, I can't help you with that one either.
Right. So
these are the things like you said, it's in time, you get used to it. And everybody on the receiving end knows what you look like. They know what you sound like. You're the only one seeing yourself and hearing yourself for the first time. When you're seeing a video or things to that effect. And the scary thing when you talk about that is I have read studies that exemplify the fact that if you saw yourself in a crowded room, you wouldn't recognize yourself.
Yeah, I believe it. And, things get better in time. And if you keep consistency up, you're going to get better. You're going to look at yourself and figure out, what can I do better? Maybe my hair can be better. Maybe I could dress a little bit nicer. Maybe I could talk a little clearer. Maybe I need to get the right equipment. And then maybe people think about equipment too. Like, what do you need? All you need is a cell phone. Right now with technology, like these smartphones, which everybody has they're so powerful that you can use these. And most content creators do just use a cell phone. So that's an easy part of actually doing it, because it's just right there at the palm of your hand.
Yeah, the camera in the 14 is probably better than most cameras you can buy over the counter these days.
Absolutely. And mobile is how everybody wants to see it. So the fact that, films in mobile view, and maybe you add a microphone to it, which it could cost you $50 from Amazon or whatever it is, if you're going to be doing video. And I highly recommend that you do videos, like these how-to videos and informational content, because that can create more views.
Absolutely.
And if you're not getting enough views, you can always throw some money at it. You can do some sponsored ads and have your ad kind of go around to do lead generation. And with that, you can get in front of more people and get more views and really build a name for yourself.
Have you done any personal research into whether or not if you post a meme or you post a video, have you seen any interaction difference? Because I have, and it's like shocking.
Absolutely. For me, video has been the most successful.
Yeah.
I feel, right now on my social media channel, I'm really catering to new agents and people that want to get in the business to help, grow the company in that sense. If I was a realtor, I would, switch my gears into doing more informational content about, purchasing a home or investment property, or, different things that I know really well. And when it comes to sales, but I've been geared more towards bringing agents in. But with that content, doing the video and being able to sponsor it, and just watching the amount of views, the interactions, the DMs that come in, we picked up. I just started doing this within the last couple of weeks, and I think we picked up like 4 or 5 agents just from filming a few 30-second videos. And it took me literally 5 to 10 minutes to do. I had some mess ups, we had to do a little bit of editing, but with that, there's just so much power in it, because everybody's on their smartphone these days, right? No one leaves that, I mean, the abyss of the scrolling on Instagram.
No, absolutely.
Everybody's guilty of it. And so why not be where everybody else is on a platform? And it's very inexpensive to do.
So that said, you're shooting video. Some things you want to think about when you're shooting video. Number one, how are people watching it? All right. Most people are watching video in short video forms, which are Reels, TikTok, YouTube, and all that is being shot in mobile, but long form aspect, not widescreen.
Right.
So you want to think about that when you're shooting videos, and also you want to think about actually adding the verbiage to the video.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Closed captioning.
Most people are watching videos, including you, with the volume off. Right.
Especially if you're laying in bed and you can't sleep and you're with your significant other, and like you're sitting there.
When do you really watch video with the sound up? When you're alone, door closed, and you can actually just listen at a reasonable volume. That's very rare these days. You're usually in a crowd somewhere scrolling through. So you want people to be able to see what you're saying. And then if they like what they're saying, like for me, what I'll do is I'll send the video back to myself so I can watch it at another time or something to that effect. So you want to give people the opportunities to see and hear what you're saying. I've experienced the same thing. If I do a meme or a video, it's night and day. It's at least 2 or 3 times the impact on video. And Instagram, I was just reading, is actually pushing memes down, and they want video. And if you put a meme up with verbiage on it, that even gets less. So, but if you put a video up with the closed captions, that's going to the top of the feed.
Yeah, so that's where people want to look. They want to look at stuff. It's a quick hit of dopamine. They can look at that. They can look at different videos very quickly and on rapid fire. And that's another thing to talk about is that these videos, if you're going to do video, need to be short and sweet. I mean, no longer than 30 seconds. Just get quick information. People within like 10 seconds or less, they're either going to be watching your video or they're going to be changing the channel. So if you do this long drawn out info or intro, or try to get creative, thinking, okay, I'm going to do some overlays and different things just to make it look cool. They don't care.
No.
They just dive right into what your topic is and be excited and smile and be that person that somebody wants to watch and get information from. Because if you're just sitting there very monotone and you're not really excited about what you're talking about, no one else is. No one else is. So you got to make sure that you're on it when that video pops on.
No, absolutely. And the idea of getting on and, how do I do my video? First things first, best thing you can do, and watch the videos that you're being kind of sucked into. Almost every one of them asks a question. Okay. Wondering how to blank? Here's the answer. Okay. Wondering what the market is? Here's the answer, right? That's it. I used to start all my videos with, hi, my name is blah, blah, blah. And you're 18, 20 seconds into the video before anybody is getting any content. And guess what? No one's watching that video. The minute you ask a question as your first thing, they say, yeah, I'm interested in that answer. And they hang on. All your information, who I am, what I am, who I am, how to contact me. That's all in my profile. They can find that. But that 30 seconds it's got to just be information that people can use and bring back.
Exactly. And your intro, it could be your outro. If you want more information, my name's Amir, West Shores Realty. Give me a call. Here's my number. Shoot me a DM. Let's connect. So
nothing wrong with ending it with a call to action, but start it with a question. Question, call to action.
Exactly. So let's talk about frequency of posting, because that's a big thing. Is how often should I post? How often should I do a video?
That is depending on who you follow and who you talk to, right? You talk to Gary V, which I'm sure if you're watching this podcast, a number of people know who Gary V is. He says, if you're not posting 10 or 20 times a day, you're irrelevant. Now that may seem excessive to some, and it very well may be, right? Another coach tells me 3 times a day, that's all you need to do. Another one says once a day. What do you say?
That's a good question. On our business page, we're constantly posting. We're posting. Sometimes we post up to 10 times a day, just basic posts about, listings or escrows and things like that. When it comes to my personal stuff, it's really hard to keep up with 3 times a day or even once a day, because you really have to take that time to think it through. I mean, I think at a minimum once a day, and at least getting into your story, just keeping your audience, keeping some sort of connection to your audience, because it's interesting. The moment you go like a day or 2 or maybe 3 without posting or even doing a story or anything, you kind of notice you kind of lose people that have typically connected with you. And, you could, because on the bottom of your stories, you can actually see who's following and how many views you get, and things start to drop off. Like, consistency is definitely key. So I think if you can pull it off, if you can do a video a day, amazing. And a video and a post, even better. Video, post, and a story. I think if you hit those 3 and make those kind of, in my opinion, your goal to do, I mean, you're doing fantastic. You've got an A+ in my book.
Let's talk about how to do that.
Okay.
Number one, right now, you can go on Facebook and you can find companies that are going to post for you on Facebook and Instagram for $100, $200 a year, right? And they'll post once a day for you.
Okay.
5 days a week.
Okay.
There's your first post. Now you make a video, right? 1 video a day. That's just not that difficult to do. If you're working, you say, check into the office. Like, hey, hey, everybody coming into the office, getting ready for a great day here at XYZ Realty. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest, give me a call. Great second post. And then the third post could be anything that's going on in the area, right? Walk into a local business and talk to them about their business. Try to cross-pollinate with people where I'm going to promote your business on my page, share this to your page. Now more people are talking about you. And these are very, very simple ways to just get that ball rolling. And once you get it moving, like you said, you don't want to stop it, because the motivation to see more likes, more interaction, more posts, that's what it's all about. And when people are interacting on your social media, they're hearing what you're saying, and it's important.
Mm-hmm. And people will see that and they'll notice that, and then over time, it's just you're gonna grow your followers, you're gonna get more clients, and you're gonna have more confidence in yourself and your business, and you're just gonna watch it grow.
Yeah.
And that's just one component of real estate, right? There's so much more other marketing that you can do, but this is the least expensive. It's the easiest and cheapest way to go about it.
So, I get a lot of people who say, oh, you know what? I'm just going to post on social media. That's all I'm going to do. I don't want to prospect. I'm going to be a social media person. Folks, ain't going to work. The only way that's going to work is if you are 100% digital marketing, 24 hours a day, posting videos, the whole thing. Most of us are not going to be able to commit to that. Okay. What you're going to be able to commit to is creating an online presence, which is exactly what you need. Because mark my words, the clients you meet are Googling you. They're looking to see who you are. They're going on your social media pages to see who you are and what you do. Okay. If all they see is party pictures and all this other stuff, not going to want to have much to do with you. If they see real estate posts and how's the market and videos and interaction with your family and all these other things, all of a sudden you start looking like a much different real estate agent than probably what they were expecting. Mm-hmm. And that's what you want to do. You want to create that overarching idea of who you are.
Mm-hmm. It's your digital image.
Yeah.
Right.
And people look, how many times have you looked people up on social media?
You always do, no matter what you're doing. If you meet somebody, if I meet a new agent, whatever, we're on there. We're looking them up. Let's see what their presence is. Yeah. It's part of your resume. It's part of who you are as a realtor. If I meet a realtor that may want to join the company in a sense, and they have some great online presence, or they have this, killer TikTok channel, which we do. We have some agents like that. And it's just like, it's one big plus, because I know that they're taking their job seriously, and maybe it's not for you. Maybe social media is not for you. Maybe you do things in a different way, and that's okay, but it doesn't hurt to at least get these channels set up, at least, try to put some basic content out there, because the new buyers, the new sellers, the newer generation of people, this is where they're looking, and then it's important to have something up to show that, hey, you know what, you can market in that way. And a lot of people use that for marketing their listings, sure. Right? Social media, posting it, doing videos, sponsoring the video, sponsoring maybe an event, an open house or something. And if you could put on your plethora of reasons why somebody should work with you, because you have a good social media channel, you have a good social following, is going to help you to get that listing too.
Absolutely.
Right.
Now, that said, though, can you do this business without social media? 100%.
Absolutely.
It can be done.
I know a lot of realtors that do.
no Facebook, no Instagram, that's fine. What you're doing is you're simply narrowing the search. Okay, when you're adding social media in, you're simply expanding the search, and you're making yourself more relevant in today's time. Okay, saying I didn't use social media for 20 years and I'm not going to use it for the next 10. That's not a great look for anybody, as opposed to adapting and being on the edge, that cutting edge of technology, what's happening, how things are moving. I can build this and I'll take you along with me. That's what social media gives us. And like you started it best with, it is the most inexpensive way to market yourself.
Think about this now, like, whenever I go on a vacation or I'm about to go on vacation or something, or I need some quick information on something, right? Or even just to find a restaurant or whatever it is, I don't go onto Yelp. I don't go onto Instagram. I don't Google anything. I go on TikTok and I look up, if I want a good burger in Hermosa Beach, for example, I look up best burger in Hermosa Beach. There's probably about 5 to 10 people that have done a video and done reviews on this burger, on the places in Hermosa Beach, and where to get the best burger and how much it is, what it looks like, what comes on it, talks about the business. And I look at that and I go, okay, perfect. I'm going to go eat here.
I have been to restaurants with him.
Yeah.
That he is seriously found on TikTok that we have to drive miles to see because he's got to try this.
Absolutely. But it was kind of fun. So it's a thing that I like to do. But you got to think, people are going onto those platforms to look for realtors, to find out information about real estate. And are you showing up there?
Right.
And if you're not showing up there, your competition is, and you're going to miss those opportunities, especially now because deals are fewer and farther between. So we got to hit everything, right? So we got to make sure we're on all these platforms and we're putting out content. So that's the new Google. TikTok, in a sense, is the new Google. YouTube had always been a newer Google, and now I think when I kind of dread going on YouTube because it's so long to go in there and search and watch a whole video and someone's full production on something, but you can do something quick like that on TikTok, and that's where people are right now. And I'm 45 years old, so you got to think somebody my age, younger, maybe even older, using TikTok within this age group could be that highly qualified buyer or seller that you can connect with.
And that's when you start talking about audiences. Okay. Amir knows where he goes for information. So that's where you want to post information about your business, because like-minded people think the same. People who think like you are going to be going on TikTok and all these different areas to research these properties, to research different real estate ideas. And it's the same thing. Maybe you don't like TikTok. Maybe you like Facebook or Instagram. Whatever it is, use that and use it to the way you would gravitate, not they. Okay, if I can give any advice on this, it's not, well, what did they want to see? Forget that. If you were scrolling through TikTok or Facebook or YouTube, what are the videos that would stop you? Make those, because those are the videos that are going to speak to your personal audience.
Exactly. So, I mean, in essence, if you're scared to do this, if you're not on it, you need to get on it. Obviously we have the Facebook Business, Instagram. You can create a separate Instagram page, LinkedIn, YouTube Shorts, TikTok. I mean, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Twitter, as you mentioned now.
Which is X.
So Twitter's not Twitter.
Twitter is not a Twitter anymore. It is now X.
X. So you have all these platforms, and you have to understand the platforms too. And that's one thing I want to talk about, because there are so many platforms and how people look at information. And I was watching some other podcasts when somebody was breaking this down. I'm like, oh, this makes sense. Everybody, these different platforms take content differently, and there's different audiences on those platforms. So, you wouldn't put the same content that you would put on TikTok necessarily on LinkedIn. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. LinkedIn is a very professional website. It's about designations and, more business information, very much business, very more serious, I would say, than the other channels and TikTok. Or even Instagram Reels. You definitely have different content that you have on Instagram than you would have on LinkedIn. And then Twitter, you wouldn't necessarily put a lot of videos on there. It's going to be more informational, right? More about writing.
Well, now he is actually gravitating towards video.
He's
as everything is,
So he's fine. He's kind of like updating that platform.
He's doing
it used to be just a place where you would write information about things,
and
right?
They're doing long form video. Like you can do hour-long videos on there. And
okay.
You can do full presentations.
Very cool.
So speaking of long, we are running a little bit long. So we do need to wrap it up.
Okay.
But my parting words would simply be authentic. Bring who you are to the table, and the people who gravitate towards that's your audience, those are your clients, and those are the people that are going to want to work with you. Amir, you got anything?
Yeah. My thoughts are always know your audience, know who you want to attract first, create the content and the informational content that you think that they would want to see or hear, and be consistent with it and keep doing it over and over and over. Try daily, at least once a day, as part of your regimen, so to speak, in real estate, is to put some sort of content out there that audience would want to see, so you can grow your audience, grow your followers, generate more leads, and do more business.
Yep. So we got the Facebook companies that post every day, and there is a number of companies out there that you can actually set up that'll schedule all of your posts for the month or for 30, 60 days. So take a look at that stuff. And if you find this interesting, you want to know more about it, here's the hook. Yeah. Follow us and give us a like, comment. And of course, if you have any issues or you want to talk to any of us, please give us a call.
Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. And you can definitely subscribe if you're on YouTube. We love to get more views and connect with you more. And don't be afraid to send us a message, because we will respond. So thanks for watching.
Be well and be safe.